Welcome to Winning Immigration. I'm attorney David Nguyen with offices in Houston, Texas. Today we're going to talk about what the pros and cons are between applying for a K-1 Fiance Visa versus the I-130 immigrant petition for a spouse. In other words, should you apply for a fiance or simply get married and file for your spouse? The pros and cons usually involve time and money. First, let's talk about the K-1 Fiance Visa. These are 5 main reasons why you may want to go to the K-1 Fiance Visa route. 1. If your fiance lives abroad, the processing times for a K-1 Fiance petition is quicker than filing for an I-130 petition for a spouse. 2. There are less documents involved. For this type of visa, you only have to prove that you met the other person within the last 2 years versus the I-130 petition for a spouse, which requires proof of the marriage. 3. If your fiance has children, any unmarried child under 21 can apply for a K-2 dependent visa and join your fiance in the U.S. 4. You do not have to file any separate K-2 petition for your fiance's children. Instead, the children just have to file documents and pay fees after the K-1 petition is already approved. 5. The visa petition fee for the K-1 non-immigrant visa is less expensive than the I-130 immigrant visa for the spouse. Now that we know the 5 main pros, let's talk about the 7 major cons of going with the K-1 visa. 1. It's more expensive, both in filing fees and attorney fees. 2. You have to show a lot of evidence to prove that you have met your fiance in person within the last 2 years. Online meetings do not count. 3. It's more complicated, since you have to deal with 3 government entities, namely U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, that processes the K-1 Fiance petition, the National Visa Center, which will send you information on applying for a K-1 Fiance Visa, and the U.S. Consulate, which conducts the visa interview and issues the visa. 4. If you have previously applied for K-1 visas for other people, you may find it more difficult to obtain a K-1 visa. 5. Once your K-1 fiance arrives in the U.S., you must get married in 90 days and submit additional documents to USCIS to obtain the green card. 6. After your fiance arrives and after you file the green card, it will take approximately 5 to 7 months before he or she receives temporary work and international travel authorization. 7. It's also riskier when you're handling the case yourself or without an experienced attorney. Now let's talk about the I-130 petition for a spouse. The 2 main pros are: 1. Once your spouse enters the U.S., within a few weeks, he or she will receive a green card. This will allow them to work and travel internationally right away. 2. Once your spouse enters the U.S., there are no additional forms to file until he or she wants to renew their green card or apply for citizenship. Now let's move to the 2 major cons. 1. If your spouse has any children, only children under the age of 18 when you got married can be considered your stepchildren for immigration purposes. This means that if a child was over 18 on the date of the marriage, you will never be able to file immigration-related documents for the child. However, your spouse should be able to do so. 2. The processing times is a few months longer. This means that if your spouse is abroad, you have to wait longer before he or she is able to travel to the United States. During this time, you can still travel to visit your spouse, but it can be very expensive. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know by clicking the thumbs up icon below or leave a comment. If you have gone through the process and want to share your own pros and cons, please feel free to share your experience in the comments below. Also, please make sure to click the bell icon below to receive automatic alerts to new videos. Again, thank you for watching, and we hope that we have made immigration easy to understand.
At David Nguyen's Law Office, we are here to help you. We bring families together through immigration. And on the other hand, we help you find solutions. All your legal needs in the hands of people who care, who are there for you. We'll take care of your loved ones at the Law Office of David.